Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another episode on the Legendlands. My name is Rosie Gemini, and we've got some fun building to do today in creative mode. What do I have for you guys today? I have 2 towers. So we are going to finish off the last of the towers. As you guys can see, we have the tower here. We've already kind of sectioned it out. And then we have the second tower over here. Look what I found, guys. We found a nice little flower. I did not even realize I was doing this while I was making the floor for the tower, but it turns out when we came down here, we noticed, hey, we have a flower in here, which is really, really cool because all we were doing was putting in circles. So if you look at it from above, ta-da! It's just a bunch of circles all going and intersecting with one another. So for it to turn into some sort of flower way down below, that's actually pretty interesting. And I love playing with the shadows of Minecraft. It's not the first time that I have played with them. This is the first time that I've accidentally played with them, but I hope to do so more in the future. I think it turned out so good. I think the floor, it took a little bit of brain capacity to figure out how I wanted the floor to look, but that's okay. You know, you gotta figure out what you want it to look like. Okay, so the problem with this beautiful floor is the fact that now I have to pick something very, very plain for the walls. Anything that's busy, kind of like this stuff, oh my gosh, it is so distracting and it hurts the eyes. Not to mention that we have to find a color that is neutral to all of this. And we've already used quartz blocks, so no quartz on there. Alright, so I think we have a working concept, and I was very skeptical about going and finding a color that would work with all of these colors. However, the dark prismarine really is nice along with the cherry wood, and then you also have the purple nether brick with all of those colors kind of combining and stuff, and they're all very dark, and that is the only way you would be able to make this work. You need a rest for your eyes, and one of the best rests for your eyes when looking at colors is to look at dark colors. As fun as this beautiful design and tower already feels, unfortunately, we gotta cover this up with a staircase. So yeah, that's a thing that we gotta do, and I am gonna be sad to cover this up. However, I like this because it is the servants' stairway, so it's very bright, very colorful, very nice. We're treating the servants fairly well, but we do need to give them a staircase. This is a tower that you have a spiral staircase in. Alright, yeah, something along these lines. For the blue and yellow, we want to remind the servants as to whose castle this is and who they work for as they are descending or ascending the stairs. So that's why we have the blue and yellow. Because of the white, it doesn't feel that busy. Now, we are going to cover up the bottom here as well. Obviously, I'm still working on the stairs. We obviously need to put in some lighting as well. Here's a little bit of a lore drop for you guys. If you messed up somehow as a servant, your punishment would be to deal with these stairs, because as you guys can see, these stairs are 2 different textures. So you have to sweep the stairs and then you have to vacuum the stairs, and that's going to take you hours. So there you go. There's your lore drop for these stairs. And I will see you guys in one moment. we got all of the stairs in, and they go all the way up to the second floor, which is nice. And our next thing is to put in the banister that goes along with the stairs. We also need to include some of the windows, which now I can tell where they would be. Again, you need to know where the stairs are in order for you to know where the windows are, because otherwise there's no point in creating a window or nobody's going to look out of it. Alright, so we added some lanterns and some pillars in here, and it looks great, but I can't tell exactly how much more lighting I'm going to need to do until we put a ceiling to this and cover up the sky. The open sky gives off just a little bit of lighting no matter what, and so you can't fully see what true darkness looks like until you cover it up. Now, I'm not going to cover it up just for the sake of like being able to tell, because I still have a huge amount of tower to build. Our next project is to make it look livable in. Like, these people, they might actually spend some time in here for whatever reason. This is a good spot to go and eat lunch or something. I want some seating in here. I want a little bit of plant life. I want to make sure that anything that I am putting in here is going to be very, very basic. We need to be very sensible about where we put things and how we put them. So we've got everything in. We've got the couches that I'm standing on. We have the plant life in here. And then we have some garland circling the pillars, and that gives it just a little extra lighting, as well as there is hidden garland. We have our potted plants. We've got the lighting all in. We have the banister all in. All of this. If you guys were wondering, this is a circle, and yet it looks very box-like, and that is simply because we did change the shape when we added in this section here, and then we didn't circle around with the staircase. It is no longer necessarily a circle, it's more of a rounded box, but that's okay. I'm okay with that, you know? But that is a crazy colorful image right there. Whew! I'm so glad that we put the walls as a darker color. I'm so glad we added the white in there, and I think that it helps to balance everything out. This is very, very, very loud and busy, and am I happy with it? Absolutely! I love it! So let's talk about this tower. As you can see, we've already had visitors to it, and some of them have taken a plunge. Anyway, this tower is the General's Tower. Now, most people, I know, would make this all gray and doom and gloom and everything like that. I don't believe in that. I don't like all doom and gloom and no color. If we're going to have a military, why does it need to be gray? Here we have the colors of the kingdom, which is, you know, Kingdom of Soul colors of blue and yellow. We have iron for an iron will, as well as bamboo for representing flexibility. That is all things that I think that anybody in the military should have. That's kind of where we're going with this. So I do like the concept well enough that we are going to progress with it. And so we are going to start focusing on this middle section, which you guys know I'm not going to leave it too basic, but also we need to make this go up another layer. And I've got some ideas for this middle section. So let me get to them. Alright, so of course I had to do a compass for this center part. Come on now, guys. Compasses and the military go hand in hand a lot of times. So we do have our north, our east, our south, our west, and as you guys can see below them, we even have color specific things. And this adheres to the 4 different elements. So we have air for the north, we have water for the east, we have fire for the south, and earth for the west. And that is kind of corresponding to the lore of my book. If you guys want some lore, this symbol would be here, would be etched here before this castle was ever in place. Just because of the 4 cardinal directions, and then you have the 4 different elements in place as well. It definitely corresponds to a few different things within the lore. While this may look really cool, it is unfortunately wrong. And what makes it wrong? If you take a look at this, this is the landing platform, and you're in the middle of nowhere. It doesn't lead back into the castle, it doesn't lead anywhere towards the castle, so unless I'm going to be creating outside stairs, unfortunately, this stairwell does not work. All we gotta do is change the angle, move it over a couple of times, and hopefully we will get there. Alright, so as you guys can see, we got the stairs mostly in. Now we do need to put a backing to them and put in support railings for them, as well as we've thrown in a couple little lights here and there, so we have some hidden lighting just to, you know, spruce it up, fix it up a little bit. And so we are going to, get the rest of those supports in, and we do want to make sure that anybody coming through here with armor is going to be able to make it through the doorways. Also, one thing to note is we are going to be continuing this pattern all the way up whatever amount of floors that I have for this tower. So we have made it so that this is the restart of this pattern. So just something to kind of keep in mind, because I actually like how it's finally come out. I think that we had to do a little bit of tweaking, and that's okay. Now, I'm gonna get back to work. I will be right back. Alright, so it is finished, and I'm gonna explain all the little details. So we got some benches here for people who are coming up the stairs, because again, they are wearing armor. Think about a hot sunny day going up the stairs, you're gonna be massively fatigued. And I don't want that for anybody. So there are benches. You could call them tables as well. They could be used as tables. They could be used as a bench. Then we get to down below. And oh my goodness, we got our pillars in. And as you guys can see, we've got some lighting here with some candles and some longer candles. And we have some jugs in here. And that is just because I wanted to make sure that, like, the pillars were not just sitting empty. I didn't want the pillars to be sitting empty. I also wanted to include the orange of the jugs as well as the copper in here because we have the S. It was the only one that was really kind of not having very much in here. I think it balanced it out in a lot of ways. And so, yeah, I was happy to be able to add just a little bit of copper because we've got the blue and we've got the, like, teal and the green and stuff. And then we have the white. Now, for our doorways, you'll notice that they look a little uneven, and that is totally okay with me. This tower is a 1 wide, not a 2 wide, and I was okay with that until it came to the doors and the armor situation. So, we've made it work. This doorway, we've kind of made it so that people can see out with a nice little window. We've also made it so that we have a bench over here to kind of offset that. Now, for over here, I don't mind this being offset. If I really want to, I put a plant there or something. But on this side, it will be even. And that's kind of what is a little bit more important to me at the moment, is that one side at least is even and consistent. And since, you know, I can't get this side to be consistently even, as long as the other side is, I'm okay with it. I'm not trying to frilly up a military spot, but I am trying to give it color. Not everybody's gonna love flowers, but that doesn't mean we don't need color and design within the military as well. And I will give you guys the full shot. Look at that. Oh my goodness. It looks so good. I love it. But that's gonna do it for this episode. Leave a like if you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and comment down below if you have any ideas to add into my castle or rooms you think I should do next. As always, guys, my name is Rosie Gemini, and stay rosy in that darkness.